I want to ask you an eye-opening question. If the bank uses your money every day to make millions, what's stopping you from using their money to do the same? Here's what most people were never taught. The money the banks are lending out, it's coming from your deposits, your paychecks, your auto drafts, your savings. It all gets pulled, flipped, and loaded right back out. You've already contributed to the system. Now it's time to benefit from it. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to access $150,000 in capital without risking your savings, without paperwork, without wasting your time. I'm walking you through the exact 5-part strategy I use to get my clients funded, even if they never touch business credit in their lives. So if there's a part of you that feel like you're missing something, like you've been working hard, trying your best, but still can't get ahead, right now you're probably thinking, why should I listen to this dude? That's a fair question. Well, my name is Jamapi Tapa. I went from working late nights in restaurants to leading million-dollar sales teams in corporate, and now running a 6-figure business helping everyday people get funded. Wherever you're at right now, I've probably been there. Maxed out credit cards, working doubles just to stay afloat, trying to build something real with no playbook or safety nets. Since then, I've helped 200 people secure more than $15 million in capital, even with average credit and no business background. I'm not here to sell you dreams. I teach real strategies that work in the real world. Now, let me break this down for you in a way I wish someone would have broke it down for me. Most people think getting access to $50,000 to $150,000 means you have to have a perfect credit score, an LLC, a bunch of paperwork, or some long business history. That's not true. I helped over 200 people get access to funding. So here's the exact 5-part strategy I walk my clients through to get funded. Part 1, fix and position your personal credit. The first thing you want to do is get a copy of your credit report. Once you get a copy of your credit report, you want to make sure you don't have multiple names at the top of your credit report, right? If you have multiple names, make sure you dispute it to keep it one simple name. Also, make sure you don't have multiple addresses there, right? So let's say, for instance, if you have something you have to dispute, that inaccuracy of having multiple addresses will save you. Lastly, let's make sure you have no employers there. What the banks look for is 100% payment history, right? Also, making sure your credit usage don't exceed 30%, because if it exceeds 30%, that's going to take off over 30% of your credit score, right? So 100% payment history, don't exceed 30%. Also, you want to make sure you have that credit mix, right? So the banks like to see that you're well versatile. So the number one thing they want to see is, do you have revolving accounts? Do you have installment accounts? So let's say, for instance, if you're paying rent, we go and get a rental comma, and we can backdate your history, because history is also a percentage of your credit report as well. We can backdate it up to 24 months to give you 2 years of history. The banks also, they want to be able to trust you and make sure you're not new to this, but you're true to this. Part 2, structuring your business the right way. The number one thing that banks are going to look at is, first and foremost, are you incorporated? Because if you're not incorporated, it's almost just a hobby, right? So we want to make sure we're incorporated first. Are we an LLC, an S Corp, a C Corp? Next thing we want to make sure we do is have an online presence, making sure we have a website, right? A professional website that the underwriters can turn to and say, hey, this person has presence online. The next thing we want is make sure the business has a business address. Preferably, you can do a virtual office, or if you have a brick and mortar, not a problem. But with the virtual office, what you want to do is you want to go to ups.com, put in the virtual address just to make sure it's not a commercial mail receiving agency. If the banks see that, they're not going to fund a commercial mail receiving agency, because what happens is when the underwriters Google your address, what they're going to see is a UPS store, a shipping location, right? We don't want that. We want to make sure we have a virtual address that we're able to go within the professional building and sit down with our clients and have conversation, right? Lastly, one of the low-hanging fruits is making sure you have a business phone number. We want to keep our personal separate from our business. We want to be able to differentiate a friend calling from a business calling. Part 3, build bank relationships. Don't just apply online. So typically, if you apply online, you get a generic approval like $5,000 to $15,000. You want to make sure you go into the bank and meet a business bank relationship manager. We call them BRMs. Now, with the BRM, what they do is they send you a DocuSign. Now you can request the amount of money you need. And the beautiful thing about BRMs is they're the second approval before it goes to underwriting. Part 4, stack approvals using data points and credit stacking strategies. One of my favorite strategies is using sequences, right? So one way I like to apply for business credit is we apply in sequences, meaning we don't want our right hand to know what our left hand is doing. So let's say, for instance, Chase pulls from Experian. Next, we'll go over to Equifax. We'll go over to Truist. Truist pulls from Equifax. Lastly, we can can go over to a TransUnion play would be Navy Federal. Once you apply for all three of those banks, what you want to do after that is wipe the inquiry. Part 5, deploy the capital with a real game plan. A great game plan is lock in with somebody who has the lifestyle you want or is leading in the industry you're in. So lock into their mentorship, right? So let's say, for instance, if it's real estate, we want to find the top real estate person in the market that's teaching real estate and give them some of that money so you're able to double it and invest in real estate. If it's funding, maybe you come see me, right? I'll assist you with funding. The worst thing you can do is go buy something shiny like a chain. We want to avoid shiny object syndrome. Lastly, use 0% interest credit cards to pay off high interest debt, because on the business side, it don't report to the credit bureaus. So what we can do is liquidate those cards. Now that you've seen the 5-part strategy I've used to help people get 50 to 150K in funding, you could try to figure it out on your own, or you can work with someone like me. If you're ready to move smart, skip guessing, and finally get access to capital, I want you to click the link in the description and apply for our Done For You funding program. You don't need a perfect credit score. You don't need a business. You just need the right strategy, and that's exactly what I built for you. Let's get it.